later. So today I'm gonna give a brief presentation about our integrated design project, which relate to auto sunshade using light sensor detection method. Okay, so here are the team members. The first one is me, Siu Ming Hong. So after that will be Daniel, IKRAM, Muhammad, NAZRUL, Amizatul, Afzan, and ZULFATIN, FATHIAH. So here is our supervisor, TS.DR ALIZA. Okay, so for the introduction part, first of all, I need to explain what is about sunshade. So a sunshade is a metal louver installed horizontally over a window or vertically in front of a window to prevent the infiltration of solar heat or glare while allowing daylight views. Therefore, towards the empowering of smart home technology, there is a need that has attracted much attention, which is an auto sunshade system. So the question here is, why auto sunshade system become a need for all households? Nowadays, a lot of people are busy with their daily routines, and sometimes they do not have time to complete simple tasks like open and close the window because they are in hurry. It is also giving some advantage for those who live in double story or in a big building. It may take quite some time to open and close the window in each room. The auto sunshade system not only provide us for a more comfortable living environment, but also has positive impact in energy saving and emission reduction. Okay, so the problem statement is how to reduce global warming. First of all, I need to ask, so how many nowadays people, how to overcome the heats? So first they will switch on fans or aircon. So for the aircon, the fluorocarbon that produces by the aircon used as refrigerant deplete the ozone layer and contribute to global warming. So how to reduce electric costs? So because the window is made up of glass and metal on large area, the surface of glass has strong heat transfer and high heat transmittance, especially in summer. It is easy to imagine how hot the room will be. So shading on the glass can minimize the direct sunlight and avoid overheating in indoor. So why we need sunshade? After the sunshade is set up, there will be some good functions and effects. For example, it can reduce solar radiation, adjust indoor temperature and reduce energy consumption of air conditioning, and so on. Therefore, the window needs sunshade. Okay, so for objective part, we have separate to main objective and few some sub-objective. So for the main objective will be to develop an auto sunshade system that is able to operate automatically for domestic users at affordable price. In this case, our target user are domestic users, since Malaysia are in summer all day. For the sub-objective will be to design an automatic sunshade system, to construct the design window sunshade system prototype in simulation and hardware, to test the performance of the developed prototype. So for these three sub-objectives will be further discussed in the next part. So for methodology, I will pass to the others team member.
Okay, for methodology, first material use for software, we use Proteus for run the simulation, Arduino IDE create code program, Tinkercad for design the prototype. Next. Okay, for material use component, we use Arduino Uno R3, power AC source 5 volt, battery 12 volt, LDR sensor, RGB LED, motor driver, limit switch, and DC motor. For hardware, we use wood, steel rod, belting gear, and polyester film. Okay, next. Okay, for block diagram, we have input for sunlight and LDR sensor, output for LED RGB, and limit switch, motor driver, and DC motor.
Okay, now I will explain about flowchart for this project. What is a flowchart? A flowchart is a type of diagram that represents a workflow or a process. A flowchart can also be defined as a diagrammatic representation of an algorithm, a step-by-step approach to solving a task. For this flowchart, the point for this flowchart is currently similar to the next slide, which is procedures, working principles. So I will explain only for this page, flowchart. Okay, for this project, the flowchart is start with start. After that, I'll explain the LDR start working by detecting the sunshine. After that, the LDR detecting reading value of more than 300, and it will send signal to the microcontroller, which is Arduino. After that, for this part, it will explain about the set point that have been set for the LDR to make sure the Arduino Uno will send the signal to the DC motor. Set point value of LDR reading to operate the motor is more than 300. If reading is less than equal 300, the motor will not run. We look for the right part, which is yes. It is mean if the condition is correct to the more than 300, the microcontroller will send signal to the motor, and if we push the on button, the motor will run, but it will be vice versa for the left part, which is no. This condition is currently is the reading value of less than equal 300. For the right part, after push the start button in several times, the motor will rotate back to original position if the LDR reading value is less than equal 300, which is mean the surrounding condition is not so glaring with the sunshine. After that, it will end the process for this project. So I will pass for the others group member for the next slide. Next.
Okay, for software design, this is the complete circuit, the part of LDR sensor, RGB LED, DC motor, and motor driver, limit switch. For hardware design, we have two options, option A and option B. Okay. for for first design, we use blade, but blade is expensive because it use metal material and it conduct heat more. After that changes to shade because it very It saves money and easy to find material. Shade use any heat insulator material. In this case, we use polyester film as our shade material. Therefore, we use shade as our final design. Okay, for the next result, I will pass to Nazrul.
Okay, my name is Mohd Nazrul bin Muhammad SAIZAM. We represent about the result and hardware demonstration. So this is our projects. So in this case, the light sensor is not receive a light, so the shade is closed. Okay, when the light sensor is receive a light, the shade will open. The motor is rotate until it reach the limit switch. So when the light sensor is receive a light, the shade is closed. And for the next case, when the light sensor is not receive a light, it will close the shade, as we can see here. Okay, the motor will rotating until it reach the limit switch, and the limit switch will stop the rotation of the motor. Okay, for the next video, I will show our main component here that we use in this project. As you can see, there is 12 volt DC motor, and beside it we use LDR sensor for the detect a light. For the inside the box, we use L298N for the motor motor driver, RGB light, Arduino boards, and also we use 12 volt DC power supply for the motor and 5 volt DC power supply for the supporting 5 volt power supply. Okay, that's all for my part, so I will pass the next presentation to the Afzan. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, for future study and recommendation, the auto sunshade was successfully constructed and the performance of the prototype was functioning as mentioned in the objective. But the only limitation is choosing the right material for the sunshade. The sunshade must not be too thick or too thin, as it is affected the building interior. So we decided to use polyester film, as it is the perfect material for the shade. For future recommendation, we can use vinyl coated polyester fabric because it is resistant to high temperature. Next. For conclusion, the automated sunshade system is designed to make life more efficient by shading the windows automatically. This system can be used in bigger buildings instead of using curtains. Moreover, it has been tested in simulation and hardware in order to achieve the fully working prototype and the performance of the system. This system brings more advantages as it is save energy and providing comfort to the interior buildings. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, so that's all for our presentation today. So thank you, Dr. Hasdina.